Ever noticed how everything that starts as a mystery ends up for sale? You ever notice that humanity has this strange habit of turning the sacred into a business every time someone claims to hold the secrets of heaven? Give it a few years, and they end up charging admission. And nowhere is this more true than the circus called Kabbalah. They tell you it's ancient. They tell you it's a secret of the universe. They say it reveals the 10 spheres of divine light, the Sephirah, the hidden pathways of creation, the letters of God's own name. They say it came from Moses on Sinai, or from Adam, or from angels whispering in the night. But that is not history. That's marketing. The truth is, Kabbalah was not born in the days of Moses. It was born in the marketplace of medieval Spain. A man named Moses de Leon claimed to have found a lost manuscript called the Zohar. He said it was written by a 2nd century sage named Shimon bar Yochai, hidden for 1,000 years in a cave, and that he alone had the gift to translate it. Many people believe him. They gathered around him, bringing their money and faith, begging for pages of the book that promised to open the heavens. But when Leon died, his widow told the truth. She said there was no ancient manuscript. Her husband wrote it himself. He created the Zohar from his imagination, borrowing from Greek philosophy, from Gnostic myth, from Christian mystics, from Neoplatonic light theory, from alchemical symbols, from anything that sounded profound. He created a performance in the language of faith. The Zohar was never a revelation, it was a product. And like all good products, it needed expansion. A few centuries later, Isaac Luria, the great mystic of Safad, Luria built an entire cosmic drama out of thin air. He said that before creation, the divine light withdrew to make space for the world. He said vessels were formed to hold that light, but they shattered, scattering sparks of holiness through the universe. He said our mission was to gather those sparks through ritual and prayer to repair creation itself. Now, think about that. The universe is broken, and only their system can fix it? That's not spirituality. That is sales. Every religion uses the same model. Convince people that something is wrong with the world, then sell them the cure. The broken vessels, the fallen sparks, the shattered worlds, the endless ladder of Sephirah. These are not cosmic realities. They are metaphors trapped in theater. The Kabbalists created an elaborate stage play with invisible actors and glowing props. They declare themselves the directors of the divine drama. You see how it evolved? The rabbis of Safad turned Kabbalah into their own priesthood. They said the prayers of ordinary Jews were worthless without the mystical intention. They invented secret formulas to align with the hidden energies of the cosmos. They drew diagrams of 10 emanations, each with Hebrew names of power, and told the faithful that by visualizing them in order, they could influence the divine. And all of this, of course, could be taught through their books, through their guidance, through their authority. Fast forward today, the same illusion continues. Only now it has celebrity packaging. The Kabbalah Center of Los Angeles, red strings, the blessed water, the famous faces wearing bracelets like sacred fashion accessories. They say the string protects you from the evil eye. They say their water carries divine energy. They even sell meditation classes to rearrange your spiritual DNA. And the people come. They always come because they still believe the old promise that someone else can sell them enlightenment. But enlightenment cannot be purchased. It cannot be bottled. It cannot be transmitted by a rabbi or a guru or a book. The great life needs no intermediaries. The source is not trapped in 10 circles of light. The source is not sitting in Sephirah, waiting to be redeemed. The source flows freely like water. The only reason anyone feels far from the truth is because their merchants of illusion told them they were. That is the real trick. The real Kabbalists were illusionists of philosophy. They took ordinary human insight that everything is connected, that light and darkness are interwoven, that the soul longs for purity, and they wrapped it in coded language. They made it seem unreachable. They made the simple seem mysterious, so they could sell the key. They spoke in riddles about Adam, Cadman, Ein Sof, and divine contractions, until they forgot that they were talking about the human condition, not the universe. And once the people forgot, the merchants, they moved in. The rabbis became magicians. The scholars became performers. They used Hebrew letters like stage lights. They wrote about the tree of life as though it were a circuit board to God. And every time someone began to doubt it, they said, "You don't understand. You need to study more. You need to donate. You need to obey." And the illusion grew. But let me tell you what the truth looks like. Truth does not hide behind a paywall. Truth does not require a red string. Truth does not speak in secret codes. Truth does not have a trademark or copyright. Truth does not sparkle in candlelight scrolls or dip from the mouths of gurus. Truth flows like a river. It moves through you and around you, whether you are ready or not. When I say river, I mean the great life, the light behind all life, not the shattered kind that needs your help, but the eternal kind that never broke. The Kabbalists believe the universe fell apart. I say they only describe their own confusion. The mind breaks, the heart breaks, empire breaks, but the river, it never breaks. The river has been flowing since before the first word was ever spoken. Look at the world around you now. You will find Kabbalah blended with astrology, with tarot, with magic, with Christian mysticism, with Sufism, with yoga, with pop culture. It has become a global mystical brand, repackaged for whoever wants to feel chosen. And every version says the same thing. You are lost, but we can show you the map. Buy the book, join the classes, follow the teacher, drink the water. The circus goes on and on. And the greatest irony of all is that most people studying Kabbalah today do not even know Hebrew. They do not know that half of the Zohar's Hebrew is medieval gibberish mixed with Aramaic slang and philosophical jargon that never existed in ancient Israel. They do not know that the diagrams of the tree of life come straight from the Neoplatonic hierarchies, not from the Torah. They do not know that Ein Sof of Kabbalah is the same infinite mind of Plotinus dressed in Jewish robes. So what are they really worshiping? They're worshiping complexity. They are bowing before mystery because mystery sells better than simplicity. The modern mind has been trained to think that more confusing something sounds, the more divine it must be. But truth is not complicated. It is direct. The more words people use to describe it, the further they drift from it. That is why the circus will end, because when people tire of illusion, they go looking for silence. They step out of the noise. They walk away from the glowing tents of metaphysics. They go to the river. They hear the sound of water, and in that sound, they realize they were never broken. They were only convinced that they were. The merchants of illusion will not follow them there. They cannot survive without a crowd. They need the applause, the donations, the students who believe. But when the people awaken or wake up, the tents collapse, the lights go out, the carnival fades into the night, and all that remains is the river reflecting the stars. That is where truth lives, not in 10 spheres or hidden alphabets, not in scrolls or secret names, but in the living current that moves through all beings. That is where revelation happens, not in the imagination of men seeking power, but in the quiet courage of those who stop believing lies. So when they tell you that Kabbalah is the key to the universe, smile and walk away. When they tell you that they can sell you enlightenment, smile and walk away. When they tell you that the world is broken and only rituals can repair it, smile and walk away. Because nothing that is real ever needs repair. The great life does not need rescuing. The great life rescues us from illusion. The river does not need to be purified. The river purifies everything it touches. You are not a fallen spark. You are the light itself. You are not trapped in a broken vessel. You are the vessel that overflows. You are not a student in the Kabbalah circus. You are a drop of the infinite river of truth. And that is why the merchants are afraid. Because when you realize that truth is free, the economy of illusion collapses. When you stop buying what they sell, their kingdom ends. That is what it means to wake up. Not to know more secrets, not to decode more names, but to see the tent for what it is, a show. And once you see that show, you cannot unsee it. Step outside, feel the air, hear the water. That is the real Kabbalah. That is the revelation they cannot sell. It is the return of the mind to the great life. The rediscovery that you were never separated from it at all. The curtain falls. The actors vanish. The river, it remains. Veritas lux mea. Veritas Flumen Meum. Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel.